Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Stone Genius. My name is Ro. I'm the Stone Genius. You know me, I'm often stoned, I'm often a genius. Technically, I'm always a genius. I do carry a card in my wallet to prove as such. It's like a challenge coin. Oh, you're not that smart? Okay, join this website and we'll talk. We'll discuss further. Hey, welcome to the podcast. Today is actually, this episode is going to be about catching up on stuff. I have so many notes. I've organized most of them together into shows. Maybe not. Maybe don't get too excited about that. So I have like 4 or 5 shows that I still have left to do. And then I have random things that may not necessarily fit into a show, and that may be what I'm talking about today. Actually, it is what I'm talking about today. So upcoming, I'm going to do the first video, my first video podcast, this show's first video podcast. And I will tell you, here's why I do not want to do video. Who needs to... It's like the radio. Here's the thing. When I was growing up through the 70s and 80s, I never once wished that I could watch what the DJs were doing for radio or talk radio. That was never a desire of mine. Because you know what they're doing? They're talking. So I do understand, though, to grow the show, video needs to be an integral part of the show. So, friend of the show, Tim Lytell, it has, at least at this part, committed to doing the very first video podcast. We've been discussing topics that we may tackle. And I guess I just threw him under the bus because he said he could be anonymous since no one on the show knows who he is by picture. Although I think I posted his picture on it. Anyway. We're going to have some stuff coming up. We're going to have that video. Nope, I don't. Just everyone I watch, if you watch someone's first YouTube video and a later YouTube video, while the production quality and the presentation may be better or enhanced or what have you, typically everyone becomes... Now, I don't know why I'm concerned. You know, most people become worse people. I'm already starting from a place far one direction of most people. Worse than most people. I don't know if that's left or right. If you're from the left, you'll say it's right. If you're from the right, you'll say it's left. So I just have no desire really to see myself on video. I mean, I do, because I keep telling Bobby I want to make porns. I mean, we have enough sex that all we have to do is hit the record button and cha-ching. I mean, literally that's the only... And upload. Record and upload. That's all that needs to be done. And here's my thing with you doing porn and uploading it yourself. If you're concerned that someone that you know is going to see it, remember, they're the ones looking at porn. You're just making it. Like, for instance, I will let you all in on a little secret. There was a video called 2 Girls, 1 Cup. If you saw the 2 girls and you saw the 1 cup, but you did not see who was taking a dump into that cup. And I'm sorry if that's a spoiler alert. Like, if you didn't know that 2 girls, 1 cup was someone taking a dump in a cup and then them eating it like it's chocolate ice cream. Sorry I didn't let you in on that in the first place. I have never seen the video because here's the deal. Some things you cannot unsee. And there is enough horrible stuff in the world that I don't need to go search out people pooping at a cup to eat. I mean, here's the deal. I'm almost afraid to eat chocolate ice cream in a cup at this point. Not really. Let's talk about pregame. So my pregame generally involves me dancing to music. So I have been singing, or I've been. So for today's show, I was listening to "It's Not My Fault" by Princess Nokia. And it is a great song. So in the song, "It's Not My Fault," so I'm going to talk someday about being blessed. And this is what I love. So the beginning of this song says that, yes, I'm God's favorite flavor. I'm blessed and highly favored. He gave me all them blessings, and them blessings turned to paper. Love it. Love it. So here's the deal. Originally, I'm recording this in the morning hours at this point. I was originally going to record this overnight, as most of you know. My studio, the studio that you're listening to the Stone Genius podcast, is also a living room. So in the middle of the night, like 2:30 in the morning, I have my headphones on, and I am listening to that, and I am dislocating body parts, throwing them around and dancing in the living room. And then, remember, headphones on, can't hear. I have no awareness. I don't know what's happening in my personal space. So I see a light pop on, and I'm not going to stop dancing. So, because first of all, I know it's not a burglar. Not too many burglars are going to turn a light on when they have the element of surprise when a guy's dancing to Princess Nokia in the living room with his headphones on. So I knew it wasn't a burglar, so I kept dancing. And I will tell you, now that I'm talking about, my right shoulder is hurting. I was doing some, and that's one I've had redone, but I was throwing some shit out there. I mean, I'm not going to say it was good dancing. Oh, I could say it was bad dancing, and then tie that into guest of the show, Harry Bodley Scott's song Bad Dancing. So today's show is going to be about picking up random notes that I've written down. Here. I got a note that I didn't know I was going to talk about Two Girls, One Cup. Here's the thing. I went to get my teeth cleaned this week. And so I went to Bobby's old office, which is a dentist office. She's now at a periodontal office. So I went to get my teeth cleaned, and at the end, they asked me what kind of paste I would like, I don't know, polish, whatever. They do at the very final step, I guess, polish your teeth. So they asked me, and generally I like cinnamon, because the cinnamon makes me think, oh, maybe I just had a shot of Fireball. And so it just gives me that good walking around feeling in my mouth, which is different than the good walking around feeling I put in Bobby's mouth. Actually, one of those buttons was for me, one was for Bobby. I'm not going to tell you which was which. Let's see. So I go to get my teeth cleaned, and at the end, I'm almost always cinnamon. So they told me immediately, we are out of cinnamon. And they had two flavors. They had strawberry and they had orange vanilla. So they told me, or maybe it was vanilla orange. I don't know. I don't know if there's a difference, and I don't know which one it was. But it had those two flavors, orange and vanilla, or vanilla and orange. So they said, I have vanilla and orange, or I have strawberry. I'll let you know that a lot of people say the vanilla and orange tastes like baby aspirin. Now, I am not a baby. I don't take a lot of aspirin. I smoke a lot of pot. I don't take a lot of aspirin. I vaguely remember, I'm 56 years old. So me talking about baby aspirin, although I should probably be taking it for risk of a stroke or a heart attack. I don't know if that's still a thing. And like I say, I'm not sure either one of the two guys, God or the devil, I'm not sure either one of them is ready for me in my time here. So not overly concerned about that. Anyway, the selling point of orange vanilla tasting like baby aspirin did not close the deal for me, so I asked for strawberry. And I was also thinking my grandmother, Mama Jane, loved strawberries. Her house smelled like strawberries. I just remember lots of strawberries, lots of strawberry flavored. Now, I don't eat strawberries because it's a fruit or a vegetable. I'm pretty sure it's a fruit. It could be a vegetable. I don't know. I don't care either. I'm surprised I haven't got scurvy at this point. I think that's what you get when you don't eat. I don't know, something. It's not pussy. Maybe that's what's keeping scurvy away. Maybe that's what the pirates were missing. That they weren't able to, they got scurvy and everyone just assumed that it was the lack of fruits and vegetables, but what scurvy actually was brought on by the lack of pussy. So I'm getting my teeth cleaned. I have been given the option. My final decision while getting my teeth cleaned is A, baby aspirin, B, strawberry, bring back memories of my grandmother, Mama Jane. Very easy decision for me. I chose strawberry. Now, you may be wondering at this point why I am trying to tie in strawberry tooth polish stuff to two girls in a cup. So when they polished my teeth with a very robust strawberry flavor, they got down and they go, how was that? And without missing a beat, I said, I feel like Frankenberry just took a shit in my mouth. So if you remember Frankenberry here, it's one of the marshmallowed cereals that we have here in America. Cereal that can't be, you got to put marshmallows in it. And not just marshmallows, like sugar marshmallows, which I think are different than regular marshmallows. Like when they dehydrate them and put them in there, the sugar content, I believe, goes through the roof. So Frankenberry is a strawberry flavored, and it was overpowering. Now, for someone that probably eats strawberries or eats fruits and vegetables, that wouldn't be a stretch. For someone that's only putting meat and potatoes in their mouth and occasionally the pink taco, that was a huge stretch for me. It was, if Frankenberry was real, and if he did take poops, because if he's like Frankenstein, I'm not sure he would. I don't know. Let's just say he is real and he does take poops, but he is Frankenberry. So you see him, he looks like a strawberry colored. You smell him, he smells strawberry covered. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of things that could be worse. And yeah, I hate when I reconcile stuff. That's what I need to talk to. Simulation theory too. So I was talking about how I won't watch the video Two Girls, One Cup. But yet I am a fervent ass eater of my wife's. Ass. Of my yes. Okay. So maybe it was more disturbing because I was not at that place in my life when that video first came out. So maybe I would watch and be like, been there, done that. That was actually supposed to be two buttons at the same time, which is exactly what I told Bobby last night too. Yeah. So strawberry toothpaste. If you ever want to know what it's like to have a strawberry cartoon Frankenstein take a dump in your mouth, Frankenberry would be the cereal for you. Or when you get your teeth clean, go, oh, they should make a chocolate flavor, a poop flavor, which I'm telling you, the strawberry tasted like strawberry poop flavor. And honestly, any of the bad flavors taste like poop flavor. Like that. It was just like if it was coconut and it could taste like coconut poop. I don't know what coconut tastes like. You know, sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Almond Joys has nuts, Mounds don't. You know what? They both have coconut. Blech. Don't like either one of those. Why would you? Nope. Have you seen a coconut? Like here again, I've talked about like how hungry did someone need to be to look at a crab or a lobster or other crustacean and say, fuck yeah. Now, I will tell you the whole crawdad thing in southern United States, I understand those people aren't that bright. Just kidding. I'm sure they're delicious. I will never put one in my mouth. Never. I mean, I would, and then I will throw it up immediately. That's the only reason I want to do video show, is because then I can bring because I do believe my gag reflex is much more sensitive to things, which I guess that's a good thing. Once again, I guess that would behoove me in prison. So now I have 2 pluses. B, we're going to start with B, because it was A. We'll move it to B. So B is that I can pretty much poop on command. So if someone's going to rape me in prison, I will just poop myself, and then I will have at it. You enjoy whatever I had for lunch in the prison commissary. And if I had Frankenberry, maybe it's a nice strawberry taste. And then my other thing would be a gag reflex. So they're like, blow me. I'd be like, and then I would throw up on them. So either way, they're going to either be, they're going to be soiled with some sort of body fluid from me. Maybe not the body fluid that they were probably hoping for. I don't know in prison if they hope for that. Boom. So we've knocked out prison. We've knocked out Frankenberry, his poop tasting like strawberries, most likely. So watch the movie The Old Way on Hulu. It is a Western with Nicolas Cage, which it is funny because something takes place and then they revisit. It's many years later, probably 10 or so years later, that they catch up with him. And he looks exactly the same, except like the same age. Like generally they'll try to, like when he was younger, he had a hideous mustache. Like the type of mustache, like what I used to have. It's not something, if you're intimate with a partner, I would say, I'm just going to use female because Bobby is a female. So that's my partner. So your beard can catch and trap fluids, stuff, things. So you would think that if you're going to have a mustache like that, because first of all, sex back in the 1800s could not have been fun. I mean, I don't know. That's so disgusting. Dirty people. So that, man, I'm just bumping. I'm jumping. I'm bumping. I'm jumping. Where's that? Yep, up to there. So I'm going to finish talking about this, and I'm going to jump to something else. But it's going to be tied in. So we're watching The Old Way, and I say me is watching The Old Way. I think Bobby came in and saw a little bit of it because she saw the one part that was important to the movie. So there's a child in there, and I wish I could say spoiler alert, but if I was going to spoil something, it would be me telling you probably that the movie is, I would watch this movie if I couldn't reach the remote to change the channel. Nicolas Cage's daughter. Think Nick Cage in a Western and go, I've never seen him in a Western before. Yes, that is probably correct. I don't think he's ever been in one and probably should have held on to those morals and values of never doing a Western. So, anyway, he has a daughter, and they're going to try to distract someone, and he goes, you need to pretend like you're crying. She goes, well, I don't know how to do that. So, something happens, a tragic event, and this girl does not cry. Some people notice that, and they're like, that's weird. This child doesn't even cry. So, when he asks the child, and I will tell you that they show very little of the father, Nicolas Cage, and his daughter, the child, I don't know the child's name. he's there. But that may be more because it's the West and he couldn't like just drive off and leave. But it didn't seem like he was on point with his daughter's feelings or expressions of feelings. So anyway, she didn't cry. And so he goes, I need you to cry. She goes, well, I don't know how. And he goes, well, just say like wham, 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 like a baby. So he goes, hides. They're going to ambush someone. Someone comes up and she goes, wham, wham, my baby. Now, I just wanted to let that sink in for a second. So if you thought that I was doing a poor impersonation of a child actor by saying wham, wham, my baby, I am not. The literal words that came out of this child's mouth was wham, wham, my baby. And it was pretty funny because to me, if a child was crying, I would be like, you're out in the, what's going on? I would be more, but if a child's like wham, I'd be like, this is weird. I mean, like a child's cry, if a child is in the 1800s, probably in any time frame, let's say, but let's just say specifically in the 1800s, if a child is by themselves out in the woods, forest, plains, whatever, and you run up upon that child and you, to all visuals, they appear to be by themselves, that would be an appropriate response for a child to be crying because they are by themselves. So if I came up on someone and they were crying, I would be like, oh, and maybe that's what they're going for. But the wham, wham, my baby, 100% going to get my attention. I will definitely do that. Okay, so I was talking about the Old West. I was talking about this movie and how disgusting people are back then. Guess what? People are still disgusting now. I was watching a couple things on bidets. If you've listened to the show in the past, you know my love for a nice clean bum. And I'm not just talking bobbies. I do think that everyone should be clean. Bobbies should be clean all the time because you don't, not you. I mean, you guys would never know unless I start posting it, which I may. I don't know. But for Bobby, at any point in time, I may just want to go to town on that ass. So it behooves both of us for her to keep that clean. Because here's the thing. If you're like, well, if she doesn't keep it clean, she's not going to want to kiss me after that. So she's going to want to, so she does. But everyone else should want to do that too. I'm just saying, if you do not use a bidet, do you disgust me? Yes. The short and long answer is yes. I mean, let's just smear it all around down there. I really should be a bidet super. If we get a title sponsor for this show, it's going to be like the Stone Genius, brought to you by Hello Tushy Bidets, which is the brand that I carry. Not sponsored. I've never taught, but I love it. Because once again, I love a clean bum. Now, I will tell you my sub $100 bidet. So these are bidets that actually attach onto your existing toilet. So it's not separate. It's not. I'm not a handyman. Bobby is very handy. So Bobby installed it. Hot, warm, direction, blah, blah, yada, yada. It's a bidet. So that I would love to try a more expensive bidet. I would like to try, I'm going to say a Japanese bidet. I don't know if that's a thing, but I do know that Japanese toilets are a thing because they have some crazy vibrating seat warming. I don't think people understand how important a toilet is in someone's life. Let's see. So, bidet culture. Do I look down on non-users? Yes. Yes, I do. So, it's funny because sometimes, so in our guest bathroom, we do not have a bidet, which we really should. As much as I choose bidets that when people come over and visit, I should at least let them have the option. So it's only in the master. But in the master, we do what have a lot of people do. You have a bidet towel. So on many bidets in Europe, it is separate from the toilet. So you move from the toilet to the bidet. And because it's water that comes out, because of many of the ones that are structured, if you look like a European bidet, it just looks like a faucet. And then, because they generally will have soap there as well as water, and then they'll have a hand towel. So you can either do one of three things afterwards. You can either use toilet paper, which that's okay. You can use like a bidet towel. It is identified as such, and when you would have company, you would change that out after uses of the towel. So, but that's fine. You know what? Because I would much rather have someone in my house with a clean ass than not a clean ass. So, because how about if things go sideways? How about if aliens come and we all get locked in together, and then we're locked in a home with stinky non-bidet people? Because I'm going to say if you don't keep that area clean, there's a lot of other areas you may not be fully paying attention to. Let's see. Here is a random thought. Oh, I can tie those two in. Here's a random thought. So I'm driving around and I see advertisements for, on vans and things like that. And this one was like Aardvark something or other, which Aardvark is AA, alpha, alpha, AA, Vark, Ard. AA, Erdvark. That's how you spell Aardvark. Excuse me, I had a cough there. So back in the day when there were yellow pages, phone books, which a lot of people may not even know have a concept of what that is. That's where phone numbers were listed. So if you need to look someone else's numbers up, you could. Well, in the business, the yellow pages, they would do companies alphabetically because that made it easier to find. So everyone was always trying to be A1, AAA, Aardvark. It was always something like that. So now that we have moved away from the paper phone books that we used to have, I just noticed that and I'd seen Aardvark something or other, and that's what threw me off, is like you never see that. That used to be many companies that you would see when they had advertised, they would start with A because they wanted to be at the beginning of the phone book. For whatever business they wanted to be in, they wanted to be at the phone book. Let's see. We got some new dog treats for the dog. So the dog's been recuperating. And on this bag, it's a smaller bag. I don't know the weight of it, the tonnage of it, which is not that big a bag. It wasn't like I bought it at Costco. Anyway, on the bag of the dog treats, it says fun size. And my thought is, who is it fun for? I mean, like, the treats that are in there seem to be the same size, like if you bought it in a bigger bag. I'm not sure if there's a smaller size. And why is smaller fun size? I never thought about that. I never, like the night that I met Bobby, if she would have had an identical twin that was a foot shorter than she was, I would, like, even if someone came up and said, oh, if you like Bobby, this is her fun size sister, I wouldn't care. But yeah, I was wondering who the fun size or what they're, like, sometimes we just have to put shit on stuff and I am sure that advertising does, I mean, most advertisements or advertisements to me are catchy when here in Kansas City out on Olathe, there used to be a place called Sunflower Dodge. That Dodge dealership is still there. I don't know if it's the same name or not, but they used to have, don't know whether he really owned it. He said he did. He said his name was Haphazard, were these crazy suits, but it's like there's a crazy guy in New York City. Those are the ones I remember, not the one. You know what? The people that are dancing because they're taking a medicine, a medication to help lower their A1C cholesterol. And see, I don't have I don't know what A1C is, but I know it from this stupid commercial now that I talk about it. See, and I don't because they're dancing. And that's what, because I was talking about stupid commercial. Who dances? And I'm talking about the Jardiance commercial because they break out into singing. And I don't know if it's for A1C. I don't know what the drug is for, but they break out into dance. And my thought is if there is a drug that is prescribed for you, not an illegal street level drug, because I'm sure there are many street level drugs that will just make you want to dance for no reason. I'm talking prescribed drugs. Like if I went to the doctor and said I have back spasms and he prescribed something to, I guess that'd work. See, I just got to talk it out. I was going to say, and he prescribed something that made me want to dance. I don't think that'd be the right medicine, but I said if I had back spasms, then yes, I would want to be dancing. Fuck. I hate talking shit out. That's the worst. It really is. And it can be bad when I'm talking to Bobby and I know mid-sentence that I've just torpedoed myself. That's the best thing about Bobby also is she knows if she's just quiet long enough that I will do something to undermine myself, which I think she learned from me. I love silence because in sales, silence is great because most people don't like it, so they'll want to talk. And then you lose. Let's see. Rowscaping. I started that. Manscaping. I wrote down rowscaping. I started doing it in the 80s. And now that they're doing advertisements for that. Now, I do remember once. It was weird. I was still living at home. This is the 80s. So the way that it started was I had knee surgeries on both knees. I was continuing to play basketball. The technology that they had for knee braces back in the day was not very good. A lot of neoprene, sticky neoprene on the inside so that it would not move. Well, if you have hairy legs and you're running a lot, or hair on your legs, I guess at all, it can tend to pull and do. So I was back into, after these knee surgeries, playing basketball almost every day. So what I started doing was shaving like mid-thigh to mid-calf, just where the knee brace was. That way it wasn't pulling on me. And I didn't care. I think I did it during winter. So it's not like I gave it that much thought. And then when it got to summer, because I'm not, a super hairy guy. And when I get out in the sun, it turns blonde. So it's not like I thought, but the first day I went to the pool, I got out of the pool, it looked like I had hair tube socks on. So I decided if I shaved my lower leg, because I had shaved like up high enough where my shorts, swim trunks were covering it. It's like if I shave my lower leg, it's going to be less noticeable. So I did that, and it was less noticeable because you didn't see the contrast. Although I will tell you, on many occasions, I did have people ask me about it. Girls would ask me about it too. Oh, I can tie this into, I'm just going to write down gay, and hopefully I'll remember to come back to that. So I remember standing at Kelly's Bar in Westport. This would have been around 1990, late 80s. So whenever Pyramid Pizza was there, it still might be there, but they had a window. So Pyramid Pizza was next door to Kelly's Bar. You could order through the window. So you could be in Kelly's Bar and order pizza from Pyramid Pizza, and they would serve it through this window for you. And I remember standing there one time, and all of a sudden, someone's like rubbing my leg. And I turn around, and it's a girl. She's bent down, and she's like, and she goes, "You shave your legs?" And I go, "Yes." And she goes, "Are you a swimmer?" So, and here's the thing. It's been talked about on the show before about the number of people that I had sexual intercourse with. So typically, I don't think it happened this night. I don't remember, which could have happened this night, and me not remembering would have been that. Sorry, physical activity. It's not like I remembered names or faces. I never remembered names or faces I was playing basketball with, people played basketball with either. I just kind of stumbled over that one. Anyway, she feels my leg. She goes, I do remember her saying, Are you a swimmer? And I said, no. Now, I probably followed that up. The only reason I wouldn't have followed it up like this, if she was under an 8, I wouldn't follow it up because, so I probably, my response to, are you a swimmer? No, I shave them because it cuts down on friction during sex. Generally, that will promote a laugh, especially if you're in a bar, especially if you're in a bar drinking, there is let's say there's at least a 50% probability that you are there and you may be available. Only a 50% chance, let's say that you're in a relationship and you're taken. So the fact that something that could be said, and they joke, and here's the thing is most people don't realize how quickly you can escalate that. Going, oh, like a response would be like, oh, really? Yeah. I mean, my car's parked around the corner. Huh. I'm not going to say whether that type of stuff happened or didn't happen. I guess I don't need to with the numbers that I hit. But let's just say that that's how it was. It wasn't like I was courting and doing. If you think back, if Bobby legitimately thinks back to the night that we met, and it is funny because she used to every once in a while be like, well, I can't believe you just met people like that. But yet Bobby went home with me, and this is going to be a gracious time period, 3 hours after she met me. Okay? I think it was a lot less than that, maybe closer to an hour and a half, but let's say 3 hours after she met me, she went home with me. So let's just, yes. Anywho, anyhow, anyway, what are we doing? What's next? Let's talk about Mel Tucker for a second. So Mel Tucker, I guess, just got fired recently as recording of the show, from Michigan State for allegedly, I don't know, something, sexual harassment, something allegedly happened. And I was reading about it, and I guess the story is that he masturbated while talking to someone on the phone. Here's the deal. Sometimes you have to multitask. And I'm not saying, like if Bobby called me and she's like, hey, I'm coming home, we have lots of things to do tonight, and she's like we're not going to have a lot of time for, and it's, you get it done. You figure out, you fit it in when you can fit it in. So if he needed to masturbate and he happened to be talking to someone on the phone, then I guess what I'm saying is, who hasn't masturbated to someone else on the other line? Actually, I haven't. I don't understand that. I do. I don't get that. So one of my jokes that I tried with Maxie Whitrack when she was on the comedian, movie star, all around wonderful person. Anyhow, anyway, I told her I had a joke that I had written, and when I tried it, it dropped flat. But it had to do with, so the joke was when I went to do try open mic night and stand-up comedy, my wife went with me, and we wanted to do the full experience. So after I bombed on stage, I took Bobby home with me and I masturbated in front of her. So I started it too fast. And so the weird thing is, I think Maxie thought I was just telling her a story and not making a joke. Like there was no line of demarcation, like story, joke. It just bled into one thing. So, yeah. Let's see. We have knocked out some big stuff today. We've knocked out Wham Wham My Baby. We've knocked out Aardvark in the absence of companies named Aardvark nowadays. Bidet culture. How if you're not in it, you are disgusting. I mean, I don't understand. Oh, have I never finished the 3 ways? Did I finish? So it's toilet paper, towel, or air dry. So either towel or air dry. Just depends on, I don't know. It depends on what I'm doing next, what I'm wearing. So if I don't have to put anything on for a little bit, then I'm good to the air dry. So we got that. Fun-sized dog treats. masturbating in front of others, don't. Like, I guess don't do it on the phone. Don't do it. And here's the deal also. If you're on the phone and doing it, so the multitasking. Let's talk about Tim. Tim has been on the show before. And when Tim was on the show, this show, as you know, is done audio only. So sometimes if people, and it is done over the phone, I'm not even tying, it's not like audio that we're taking out of Zoom or somewhere else. This is strictly, I call them on the phone, run it through my soundboard. This is what we get. So sometimes if they're doing headsets, even a handset, generally a headset, they'll get distracted by life. And so you can kind of hear things in the background. I don't care because you know what? It is life. So I'm okay with that. But Tim started doing dishes. And you could hear that in the background. Was I offended? No, I'm fine. I don't care if he does dishes. If he was masturbating, ow, that was my cheek. As far as you know, it was my cheek. If he was masturbating and you heard that in the, I wouldn't care. I didn't. So here's the deal. I didn't address that he was doing dishes on the phone. So I probably wouldn't address that he was doing. And I'm not calling anyone afterwards. I'm not calling Britt and going, hey, Tim was masturbating on the phone. But you know what I would do? So now I'm glad this isn't a radio program because someone could have just tuned in and then they would think that Tim. So I'm just glad it's not a radio show. That's because Tim is not masturbating on the phone while doing a podcast with me. Although I'm okay with that. If a guest in the future needs to masturbate while doing, and that's the thing. If you're able to carry on a conversation with someone while masturbating, like I can't even enjoy a road hummer anymore. Bobby will ask and I'll say no, and I feel bad because I do want it, but I don't want to concentrate on the road. Do you know how bad you drivers are? I don't want to worry about swerving around you maniacs out there while my thing is in Bobby's mouth. I don't know why. I was going to say cock, and then I was like, that may be too hard. So I decided to use thing, member, Johnson. Yeah. I can't even enjoy it. I want to focus. So if you're on a phone call and it would be like doing a work call. Like sometimes it would be like, you know how people have those stand-up desks or the ones with the treadmills that I've seen? I've never seen it in person, but people, they have a desk and they can walk like they're at a treadmill. What is the difference between walking at a treadmill and jerking off? Or flicking the bean. This is not a man-only thing. If you want to sit there on the phone and as a female and flick your bean while you're having a call, that's fine. You may not want it to be a video call. Wow, I didn't think we'd talk this much about bean flicking. So anyway, I don't understand the whole masturbating in front of someone else. Yeah. So, or on the phone with someone else. I think I spoke about this before. I spoke it on the podcast with Bobby. On our podcast, The Longest One Night Stand with Bobby and Roe. And I may have mentioned it here as well. I'm going to mention it again because I have this note. Boom. I'm going to cross it out so I don't mention it again after this. Submissive sermon. There's a sermon about wives being submissive to their husbands. I said, Bobby, you need to go listen to this. She said, no, I don't. I was like, that proves that you need to go listen to this. Let's see. I don't think I finished on my rowscaping. So I started shaving my knees and legs, and then I started talking about pizza, and it just went crazy out of there. So I started shaving my legs first, and then my chest was like not billowing hairy. I'm not my brother-in-law. I'm not like mini Sasquatch. So here's how different me and my brother-in-law are. So I started shaving my chest so that when we had daughters, especially Morgan, when she was very young, you know how kids will like to blow on people's stomachs and things like that. So you get them to laugh. So she was, I don't know, 2 years old, maybe. And like if she would do that, if I do that to her and she'd do that to me, my stomach was clean. There was no hair on it. So I remember when Uncle Brian was over and she went to do that to him, and she pulled up his shirt and she screamed because she just had never seen, outside of the animal community, I'm not sure she had seen anyone covered with that much hair. And I've seen worse. It's not like Brian is Sasquatch. Maybe a mini Sasquatch, but he is not Sasquatch. So I shaved my legs first, then I started shaving my chest. And because it actually made me, because I was playing basketball all the time and everything, I had a well-defined six-pack. And so shaving, as you'll notice in bodybuilders, helps show off definition. So I started shaving my chest. So now we're at legs and chest. So then I meet Bobby. This is 1996. We have a baby, and I think it was with Trinity. So this would have been 7 or 8 years after we met. So early 2000s, I still had hair on my arms. And if you're like, I know, right? So we took we took a picture of me holding Trinity, and Trinity was so small, she fit between my wrist and my elbow. So I'm holding her there, and here, when I saw the picture, and it was an actual photograph. This is before like the age of real digital was taking off. The photograph, I was like, what a beautiful baby. My arms are way too hairy. So it's funny because I told Bobby, I'm going to shave my arms. And Bobby was like, no, because it just seemed odd. Remember, now this is early 2000s. So she's already dealing with a person that's like, yeah, I'm going to go to the shower and shave my legs as a husband. And then I'm shaving my chest as well, which I've always asked, would you like me to grow my chest hair out? And the answer is a resounding no. Hold on. The answer is a resounding no. So then I started shaving my arms as well. And I started shaving my head in 93. So I'm shaving chest and arms and legs and head and face. So I'm pretty well taking care of Manscaped. And then I was like, why do I need hair? So then I start shaving what they'll call now manscaping. So my manscaping is my entire body. Now, I will tell you this. I'm going to jump to a side note because I don't want to forget it. Here's an important thing about manscaping. Fucking do your eyebrows, motherfuckers. Unless you are of Russian descent and want to prove you're a Russian or Eastern European descent, do something about your eyebrows. You can get a little handheld that you can use on beards and stuff. Find the right guard. I use a 6 and I cut my eyebrows down. Here's the thing. No one ever says anything about my eyebrows because they look good. If I let them go, this is for the guys and the girls. Attention is in the little things. It's the attention to those little details that really, really set you apart. So now that I went offline with this one, so now I'm shaving head, shoulders, knees, and toes. So I'm shaving everything except my butt crack. So I'm not shaving my butt crack, which I assume that God strategically placed hair on us, on me, for a reason, and in the locations that probably you need to have that hair for whatever reason. I don't know why you need it there. But I will tell you, with the bidet, sometimes having a hairy, so the hair will, just like a beard, will trap, or your hair. Think about going next to a bonfire and how that will stay, that smell will stay in your hair. Well, let's just say that all smells, and I am speaking from experience, all smells stay in hair. So once again, the removal of hair has more to do with the hygienic, maybe, and this is just me speaking. I don't have any physical, but maybe not from a distincted point of view, if that is a medical term, distinct. Yeah. So then I'm shaving. So everything, and then I go, I wonder what it'd be like if I shaved my ass crack. Because who doesn't have that thought in the shower every once in a while? Some people do, wash their hair in the shower. Some people relax and soak in the shower. Some people are like, maybe I should save my ass crack. So I decided one day to shave my ass crack. And I will tell, hold on, I got something for that. I'll let it get creepy. I mean, it's my ass crack. Yeah. So I decided, and here's the deal. So other places, if I let the hair grow out for a while, it'll itch. Arms will itch, chest especially will itch. So some areas will itch. I don't know if it is the skin that is used in the dairy area. I don't know if it's, I don't know exactly what it is, but when I shave, I was like, oh, the razor stubble could be, I mean, it's not. I didn't notice any of that. Maybe my butt is numb. I have no idea, but I don't. So the weirdest thing, here's the thing. If you shave your ass crack, and I will say, if you, and I know this is not a true statement, but I'm going to make it because I wish it was true. No one wants to eat a hairy ass crack. That being said, there's probably some sickos out there that do. Just, so anyway, the things that you need to be prepared for post ass crack dehairment, hair removal, is farts sound different. They're going to sound really different, like really. And you'll so even if you just have a little hair, it's like if you fart, that hair allows your butt cheeks to kind of like do something, so the lack of hair sometimes it can make it more, the fart sound more explosive because you don't have that hair reducing friction. So you have friction. So it's almost like it's a buildup of the fart. Like it's like with a fart, just even those tiny little hair follicles, like if a fart's coming out, it can squeeze. That's enough room that air can pass and you could do like a silent but deadly. Now, if you've shaved your ass crack, that is going to be nearly impossible. Like even if you try to just like squeeze one out, do a silent but deadly, you cannot. It is, I don't know if it is physically impossible to do it or just mentally impossible to do it, but I know that it is 100% impossible to do it. Let's see. I'm going to touch on this. This will be the last thing. So what's this note? So I'm going to tie two notes together. One is that I had already written down, but it ties into a note that I just heard that I was going to use for another show. So what I had wrote down is I never learned to spin a basketball on my finger. So you'll see a lot of people, they'll spin a ball on a finger and then they use your other hand. They'll keep it spinning, spin like they can balance it there and it just spins forever. I am now 56 years old. I have probably played tens of thousands of hours of basketball in my life. I mean, I just was a gym rat. I was on the court. I was playing all the time. That being said, I never learned how to spin a ball on my finger. So when people ask me why, Ro, you literally can't spin a ball on your finger, my answer is always the same without missing a beat. It's because I was too busy playing. You know who learns how to spin a ball on their finger? The person that's sitting on the end of the bench. That's who learns how. I'm sure that Isaiah Thomas, Stephen Curry, Magic Johnson, I'm sure they could all spin the ball on their finger too. But they were basketball and nothing else. I was basketball for recreation. It wasn't like I got done with basketball and now I'm like, oh, I got the rest of the day to kill. What am I going to do? I'm surrounded with basketballs. So I know. So this is how I was going to tie it in. I wrote down this note. I don't know. I think that it was a major credit card, like one of the big credit card companies here. Not like MasterCard, Visa, but the name, like a name. Their CEO. And so there's, let's see the whole note. So here's what I wrote. Remember, people that need to work hard are not talented. Like when people are like, oh, you can do anything with hard work. Yeah, that's because you're not talented. That's why you have to do hard work. They must work hard to prove their worth. And they do. They have to work hard to prove their wealth because their worth, because nothing else is going to do it. So there was a CEO that mentioned how he works 17 hours a day. Like he was boasting that. Here's the thing: as a genius, someone with a high IQ, that's stupid. Are you fucking stupid? Here's the deal. You should work like 3 hours a fucking day because you should be so together with it. And people can argue about it, but you're wrong. You can argue all you want. So here's the easiest way to know if someone's on top of their game. Look at their emails. See how many unread emails they have. Every day, I had 0 unread emails when I left my office. Zero. Because I had a very strict rule. I put rules in place for emails. I would delete emails because just because you fucking send me an email does not mean I need to respond to it. Because a lot of people send a lot of stupid fucking emails. And reply all should not be a thing. I actually think there is a country, I want to say it's France, at least a company that did it maybe over there. But so first of all, I know that they will not allow you to email after work hours, like after 5 p.m. You cannot, like my boss could not email me, which would be, hold on. No. But I cleared my inbox every day. Doesn't mean I read every email, because guess what? A lot of your fucking emails are worthless. Here's the deal. I remember working at a big company and they would send out an email, and let's say I had a baby. Rodney had a baby. So they would send out an email to everyone except Rodney. They would do the email to the entire office and then delete me out of there because I just had a baby. I'm busy. I got a baby. And they would want to take up I was going to say offering, but they're like money so that they can buy them something. So basically, one person comes up with the idea that this person needs like a baby gift or whatever, and then they don't want to buy it themselves, so they want to con everyone else in so that because they're going to be the one that present it. Whoever sends the email out is going to be the one that presents the present. So as much as if they can garner a whole bunch of money, then it looks like, look at what I did for you. But I used to love when people would send out like, hey, Rodney and Bobby just had a baby. We're taking up some money so we can buy them diapers or a gift or whatever. And then you would get the people that would just hit reply all, congratulations, Rodney and Bobby. Congratulations, Ro. That's awesome to hear. I'm not on the fucking email list. And that's going to everyone. And I will tell people, I will be like, and I will let them know you are on thin ice. You're about to be blocked because your emails are shit. I don't have time. Do you know why they have 100 or 1,000 unread emails? Is because they get shit emails and they literally don't know how to organize that. And so, yes, he probably needs 17 hours for a day to get his work done because he is a talentless hack fool. And I will debate that motherfucker one-on-one because anyone that thinks that the more you work, the better you are, you have no fucking idea. That is not. So here's the thing. You don't create something like AI or technology to replace you so that you can go do something else. You do it so it replaces you so that the other things that you are doing are not work related. You know what I spend 17 hours a day doing? Enjoying my fucking life, you loser. Yeah. So that's, yeah. I do think it's funny when people talk about that, because here's the thing. This should be the thread of my show. Listen to people, what they say, what they do. Listen to them. They will tell you exactly what they are. When they tell you that they have to work 17 hours a day, you will know that that person cannot get things done in a timely manner. Think about an apocalypse. Are you going to want someone that can't, oh, I have to spend 17 hours doing, what the fuck do you do? If you're CEO of a company, you do very little, okay? Now, you may say you do a lot. You don't. That's where you've delegated all that out. You may have to check on things, and you're ultimately responsible for things, but 17 hours a day, fuck you, asshole. If you came to me and said you work 17 hours a day, I would fucking laugh in your face, just so you know that. And once again, if you're like, well, I don't care, well, you should, because I'm better than you. We are going to have that. So I read the line from the It's Not My Fault. So I read that in I Am. We are going to have one of the episodes coming up is the being blessed. Like, I hear a lot of people talk about being blessed, and I'm like, how? And I'm like, literally, I want to know. I'm looking at you, and nothing says that you're blessed. So I literally am just trying to figure out because we may have a different interpretation of that. Like, someone may just be happy to wake up in the fucking morning and be like, I am blessed to wake up in the morning. And then they look like a troll. So congratulations. And is it about looking good? If you want stuff done in the world, probably yes, it is. I will tell you, the prettier you are, the easier it is. And for anyone to debate that, there's a reason sex sells commercials. Yeah. So, okay. So we went sideways on that one, but it's a good time to wrap up. We just crossed the 1 hour mark. So what do we have coming up? We're going to talk about Akashic Record. I am having Raven Willow on the show here soon, so we're going to be talking about Akashic Record. If you don't know what that is, I guess you'll have to turn into the next episode to find out. Tim Lytell and I are going to do something about something in video, which is weird to say it like that, because Tim used to be in the adult entertainment industry. So I think I should probably be more... I should clarify that statement. Tim and I will be doing a I don't fucking care. I'll do it naked. Actually, I may do it dressed like a man baby. Or is that no, that one. That's the one. No, get rid of crickets. Seriously, crickets? Okay, so let's see. That's it. Man. I gotta do physical therapy now. I will so here's also something about myself. I thought my knee, the fact that I couldn't straighten it out after my last knee replacement, I thought it was really off. Like, because I thought it was a huge deal. Like, how I could make a fist, and I have big hands, and slide it underneath my legs sitting on the floor when it's supposed to be flat. So, but they said I was only like 6 degrees off of zero. And so they've been working on that. And I will tell you this, the last time they worked on it, I thought they were going to snap my leg in two. Did I go to stop them? No, because I figured that would change the outlook for the rest of my day. Like right now, I don't have anything planned the rest of the day. So my leg snaps. There'll be a lot of stuff that will make this day go very fast. Otherwise, I'll probably come home and lay at the pool. And if you're thinking to yourself, isn't it the 28th of September? Why are you going to the pool? Because it's 90 degrees in Kansas and the pool's still open. Now, am I going to get in the pool? No, I am not. But I will probably go lay next to it. That's for sure. I won't take any pictures. I posted a picture of Instagram on my of me in a Speedo when I did the Speedo show or fitness show, and Jason commented, I should have led with this. Jason, I just want you to know that there's analytics. I can see how often you zoom in on my Speedo. Okay, on Instagram, that is an analytic I can see. Every time you zoom in on a picture, I know who's zooming in and what they're zooming in on. I don't really know that. Okay, so That's pretty good. Let's see. Anything else? Okay, last two things. I'm going to add last two things. Me doing the Keanu Reeves pose. So Keanu Reeves, when he takes pictures with women, he won't touch them. He'll put his arm behind him, like his arm's around him, but he won't physically touch them, which I love my wife so much. I thought that was a good idea. Like if I'm taking pictures, because I do take pictures with people that are guests on the shows and stuff, that I would do that. I would. So I've gotten so used to doing that. When a picture was taken of Bobby and I at the Cupcake concert, my left arm was out like there was supposed to be someone there and there wasn't. Oh, I wonder if we could Photoshop Cupcake into that picture. That would be awesome. I don't know how to do that, but I know people. Let's see. That and the last note that I had, I'm going to cross this off. This was a good note, but it's short. I think I'd be a great addition to a K-pop group. So I've been watching K-pop. I don't necessarily like the music, but the choreography and the dance routines are awesome. I remember the first time I saw a K-pop group, it was BTS, and they were on Saturday Night Live. And the music, I have no idea what song they sang, but what really got me was their choreography. Like, I was used to seeing our daughter, their dance team, which is a very accomplished dance team, and they were very good. And even when they were in small groups, their choreography was nothing like K-pop. Now, I will say this. You do have high school girls going and doing their training and practice at like 6 o'clock in the morning before school starts. And then you also have young South Korean kids, I'm going to say kids, young South Korean people that are probably paid millions of dollars or whatever the currency is in their country. They're probably paid quite handsomely to work on that choreography, where most girls with drill team are probably going at 6:15 in the morning and hoping they're still awake at 7:30 when school actually starts. Okay, that was it. Thanks for listening. My name's Drew. We got some stuff. I've been reaching out to a lot of potential guests, a lot of new guests, so that should be good. I may circle back around with some guests that if I incorporate video and it works out. Sometimes the interaction, if you can see someone, it ends to play better. I will say this. Tim sent me a video, he sent me a link to a podcast that he was on. And when I listened to it, because they were remote, they were in different areas. In fact, I think they were even on separate parts of the country, which doesn't matter. They could be next door. They were separate, which just makes it more difficult because you can't read that. One thing I can read, so I can generally read a person's whatever to know how far I can say stuff. So I'll repeat this. So we had a knee brace come in to our shoe store, and the owner was talking to me about it, and it was very intricate. A whole bunch of webbing went everywhere, and the owner asked, he goes, "What do you think of this knee brace?" And someone else was helping a customer, and I'd kind of heard the interactions with this customer, so I was very sure that I could get away with what I was about to say. So he goes, "What do you think about this knee brace?" And I go, "I think that I would get all tangled up in it like every time I try on my wife's fishnet stockings." And she laughed. She didn't say a word. She just laughed. And I knew. And it was funny because the owner looked at me like he couldn't believe it. But then when she laughed, he got it. But I knew that the laugh was coming. Once again, people. I know. I've told you this so many times, I feel like I shouldn't have to tell you any longer. I almost always know what your response is going to be to whatever question, whatever interaction we have. I almost always know what your responses are going to be, which makes it possible for me to lead you down a certain path if I so desire. Do I typically desire to do that? No. It makes Roro a bad boy. It makes Roro bad when he manipulates other people to do things. So I try not to. Okay, that's it. That's it for this show. This was Random Thoughts with Roro. That wouldn't be a bad name. Actually, that'd be bad. Last thing. So I was talking about guests. I know I've said last things multiple times, so I obviously don't know what the term last thing means, and I apologize for that. So last thing. There's a company that can help facilitate meeting podcast guests. They will do shows that are looking for guests. They will do guests that are looking for shows. So I have been featured by them before. Our podcast, that I call it ours, because this really is, even though I'm doing this for me, it's ours. Because if you weren't listening to this, I wouldn't be doing this. It's too much time. So, but we've been featured before. They asked if we wanted to be featured again. I said, hell yeah, I do. So I found Tim Lytell is from there. There many of the great, Sean Wickens is from there. David Gowans is from there. There's and Liv LaRue is from there. So many people that I have met and become very, 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 very big fans of. I have met through this. And so they asked me if I wanted to feature my podcast again. I was like, yes. And they go, what type of parameters do you want your guest to have? Generally, they're looking for, I want someone with a business background, or I want someone that has an experience within a cult. And so they're looking for very specific, because their programs are probably more targeted, more specific for an audience than the shit that comes out of my mouth, which, remember, is going to smell like Frankenberry. So anyway. So this show is not very targeted with their audience. So I just said, I will take any guest. I'll talk about anything. And I literally will take and I told this to Tim when we were discussing what type of topic we may do for that first video podcast, is I said, I'll do anything. If you give me a set, I will either be pro or contrarian. If you want me to be for something, I'll be for it. If you want me to be against it, I'll be against it. I don't care. I'll take any position just to get a conversation started. So, and it gives me a chance to manipulate people. Anyway, they reached out and they said, I said, I'll take any guest. They go, well, that doesn't narrow it down. So my response to them was, the title of the show seems to weed people out. I still don't understand why people can't get past the word stoned. I'm literally thinking that if I take this off and do this full time so that I can remove that, I will literally go back to the Roro Show with TSG. So it says the Roro Show with the Stone Genius, because I think it's ridiculous that I would need to change my name. So much so I don't want to do it, but so much so there are certain guests that I'd love to talk to. And I guess I can manipulate them into being on the program. The best would be to call them, say, I am going to manipulate you to be on the program, and then go ahead and do it. That was so fun. In sports, that was always fun to do. Be able to tell someone exactly what you were going to do, and that's what you're going to do. Whether it was golf or basketball, it didn't matter what it was if you were doing something. Okay, anyway, we got a lot of stuff coming up. Hopefully my show will be featured. I should hear from a whole bunch of guests. I think I actually heard from about 40 some odd people last time. I think I reached out to maybe 15 of them, with maybe 10 to 12 being on the program. So it worked out, and I'm still getting, I still search the directory, but we'll be featured. So I'm really looking forward to some of the guests we may have coming up. One of the guests that this company has is the founder of Atari, which is, literally the founder of Atari. That is crazy. So lots of people to talk to, lots of cool stuff coming up. Next program with Raven Willow should be amazing. If you made it all the way to the hour and 15-minute mark, hey, I got something for you. For all of you that left early. Wow, that got creepy as soon as I said that. There's nothing to say to you because you're not here. Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. You guys know me. My name's Roro. Talk to you next time.